Hi guys, welcome back. We are continuing on with our data unit. We are graphing our data. So you've already seen dot plots, stem and leaf plots. Now we're going to move on to histograms today, okay? So we're going to do a little bit of vocabulary in here, and then I'm going to show you an example of how you would interpret the data from a histogram. All right, histograms are a type of bar graph used to represent numerical data that have been organized into equal intervals. And I'll explain what intervals are in just a second. Okay. The intervals that we break data into for histograms allows us to see the frequency distribution of the data. The frequency distribution tells us how many pieces of the data are in each interval. Okay, so there's our technical lingo. So let me explain to you what I'm talking about from this description up here. So the equal intervals, they're talking about your bars. These are your intervals. Each bar is an interval. Okay, now the frequency is how many times it happens. Okay, so think of your intervals as your x-axis and your frequency as your y-axis. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this histogram. Notice that it says quiz scores. That's what they're talking about in here. Along the bottom, which is your x-axis, is your scores, your percents. So they have a group from 76 to 80%, another group that's 81 to 85%, 86 to 90%, 91 to 95%, and then finally 96 to 100%. These are the scores that these students are being grouped into. Along the side, which is your Y, is the number of students that got that range of scores. So let's take a look at our questions. Number one, how many students took the quiz in all? All right, so if I look here, it says number of students. So I need to see how many students are in each one of these categories. So in our first category, it looks like I have one student there. This one has 7 students. This one, 9, 8, and 3. Okay, so now that I know how many are in each one of these intervals, now I need to add them up. Okay, so I have 1 plus 7, which will give me 8, and then plus 9 will give me 17, plus 8, carry the 1, so that's 25, and then finally plus 3, that will give me 28. So there were 28 students that I have a score for on this quiz, okay? Let's look at question number 2. How many students scored between 81% and 85% on the quiz? So I'm looking for the scores, and I see 81 to 85. So I'm going to go up and see I have 7 students that scored in that range. So I'm going to put 7 as my answer there, okay? Let's look at the last one. How many students scored between 75% and 90%? So again, I'm looking at my scores. My scores start at 76%, but I need to go all the way to 90. So let me see, 90, right here. 90 is this all the way up to this point, okay? So I need to add 9 plus 7 plus 1. So 9 plus 7 is 16, and then plus 1 is 17. So there were 17 students that scored in that range of 75% to 90% on their quiz. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is our notes for reading a histogram and interpreting the data. You're going to go into your folder and you have a few questions that you're going to answer regarding a histogram. And of course, as always, if you need any help or if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. All right, guys, see you later.